That is the infamous Indian Point nuclear power plant.
If you haven't already watched that video, you should go do that. I'll go ahead and tag the creator. And if you haven't already watched the extended version on YouTube, I recommend going there as well. But I do have one criticism. Now, Vox does a pretty good job at handling a lot of different topics, including nuclear power. But they do stumble on one thing that I see that is related to a lot of science topics. And this applies to pretty much any news agency out there. And it's when you give the false impression that the opinion of a non-expert is equal to that of an expert. I see this over and over again where they'll interview an expert. In this case, it was actually a journalist who has been doing energy for a really long time. And then they'll go and talk to somebody who has really no expertise in nuclear energy. And it leaves the viewer with the impression that both opinions are on equal footing, when we know it's not. In the topic of science journalism, we should really be learning lessons from this pandemic, specifically when it comes to communicating about vaccines. For the most part, journalists these days have learned not to give equal footing to non-experts about vaccines. They might do interviews of people behind picket lines who are protesting vaccines, but they always counter it with the experts and show that the experts' opinions are much higher than the non-experts' opinions. This shouldn't be any different about science subjects, including nuclear power and even GMOs. I know what people are thinking. Well, if we only interview the experts about nuclear energy, you're only going to get pro-nuclear energy input. If you only interview the experts about vaccines, you're going to get a lot of pro-vaccine input. There's a reason for that.